Howdy on Multivax Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days Die. Alright, I think I need some more. I saw that just spawn in. I think I need some more stone. And is it coal or niter I need? Because I can just run out and grab some. That's not where I would check that anyways. I need more nitrate powder. So let's go grab some more nitrate powder, which will get me stone at the same time. Might as well double up on those abilities. I keep hallucinating things moving around on here. I don't know what's going on. Going crazy. Yeah, inventory looks alright. For what I'm about to do. So we just finished playing our D&D game for the week. This week the other guy ran it. And so we were back in our Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Yeah, it's I don't know. It went the same way it usually goes. Most of it was mediocre fine, and then there's just some moments that just are like, "What the heck are you thinking?" Um, and oh yeah, where's my niter? Uh, huh. I think it's right here next to this lead, actually. Um, so the last week when we played, or not last week, but the last session we played on, the I don't know if it's this one. It must be this one, yeah. Although this looks like coal. It's not though. That's rock. Okay. Ah, yeah. Okay, this is niter, nitrate powder. So we had fought this big group of drow last time we played, and one of them ran off. Not only did he run off, but there are two wizards that should have showed up tonight, and neither one of them did. And some of that is because he refuses to acknowledge that our abilities work, I think. I honestly cannot remember where that wizard ran off last session, because I feel like it should have been in range of at least one of our guys who can... Are you okay, game? What's going on? Should have been in range of at least one of our guys who can see in the dark, or see invisible creatures. And so I'm not really certain why it just vanished. There's like a weird graphic artifact happening here. Anyway, so we started off tonight. We had moved back into the lair of this giant lizard we had killed, and took our long rest because we went up a level, and he doesn't let us get our new abilities unless we take a long rest. And so a lot of times we'll just leave the floor and go back to our home base to get our new abilities. He always says that things might change while you're gone, but who's he kidding? Hello? How much nitrate powder did I get? Oh, yeah. Plenty. Oh. I've got myself a little horde spawn. That's what was happening. What are you guys doing out and about? Now they're all dead. And so um, we moved around a little bit. Oh, how much stone did I get? That's the real question. I got tons of stone. I want to get some more stone into my forge so that I can get some more cement going. So we started working our way around the parts of the cave we hadn't seen yet, which we like to do. One of the things that we do is we pick a wall and we follow it all the way around the dungeon, and then work our way inward after we've worked all the way around the dungeon. Because most of the time, the dungeon that's gonna get us everywhere in a dungeon. Sometimes it doesn't work out because oops, I did push the button to jump. He just didn't do it. Sometimes it doesn't work out because the things will loop. Okay, that time I didn't have any speed left. Wow, I can't climb. You want to get some stamina back here, buddy? We're just going upstairs. You okay with that? Just gotta go up some stairs. And so I can't get in my base today. So there we go. That's ridiculous. I'm trying to remember what we did, honestly. I think we just worked our way around through some places that had nothing in them until we came across another group of drow. And we started in on combat with them. But I can't think off top of my head that there was anything too annoying with that moment. He did poison my guy. I do want to see about making the 4x4 now that I can. 4x 4. So we need chassis, accessories, and a battery, an engine, and 4 wheels. I have got 4 wheels. Sweet. I've got 4 wheels. I got a battery. I've got an engine. Okay. So then I just need to make RXR. No. 4x. Let's see. Parts, headlights, pipe, spring, mechanical parts. Electrical parts, mechanical parts, spring, pipes, headlights. And then the chassis is 250 forged steel, duct tape, and leather. Duct tape, leather. I have 3 forged steel at the moment, so that's not going to cut it. I don't have enough metal in here. All right, let's get started on these right now. I think I have enough clay. So I need 250 steel. I have 3. 224, 226. All right. Well, let's see about getting all this iron in here, and then we can try and get some steel together for that. I guess while that's going, I'll just go. Well, let's unload more gunpowder in here. Let that do the gunpowder, and I will move. Some of this in there for later. Bullet supplies. Keep your gas. You can have your parts. And so we did fight those guys a little bit, and then you know what, I'm gonna put these up here just so I have them separated and ready to go. Okay. And so there were a couple of elite drow, some lower level drow guys, and some shadow demons. So we fought our way through most of them. I could not hit anything tonight. It was ridiculous. Every time I rolled, it was low. I think the one time I rolled good, he parried it, which is an ability they have. And so I got like one good hit in that whole fight. And then my other guy, he attacked, did a little bit of damage, and then got knocked unconscious. And then, I mean, he hits, but his attacks are pretty low. And so, I mean, they add up, but when 3 of his attacks barely do the same amount of damage as one attack from my warrior, you know, although my warrior couldn't hit, so he was doing better than my warrior. And so we did get through those okay. And so there was a moment we got in a fight. I don't remember what we were fighting, man. I wish I could remember what we were fighting. We were fighting something, and he says under his breath, but still out loud so we can hear him, "What's going on? I just rolled a 17, a 17, and a 1." Right. And then says to the guy he was attacking that 2 of those 3 hit. Except that none of those would hit the guy. So, yeah, that's the kind of stuff we deal with. So obviously he almost rolled high enough to hit, but didn't, and then tweaked them so they would hit, which I hate. And then the other thing that really, I mean, it didn't bother me because it didn't involve me. But the same guy that he said under his breath that the 3 rolls didn't hit, and then claimed that 2 of the 3 hit, walked into a room, and then he said stuff dropped out of the ceiling on him and attacked him. And once again, this is the abilities thing. The guy has a dagger that allows him to sense 30 feet around him so that nothing invisible or hidden can get within 30 feet of him. Okay? And then his other ability is the lurk. He can't be surprised. Can't be surprised. And so we walk into this room, and the cave has a 30-foot high ceiling. So if the ceiling is 30 feet, then that means that then that means that the ceiling is well within range of his blind sight, right? Which, I mean, admittedly, if you wanted to play out how blind sight work, I would say the ceiling probably wouldn't be within 30 feet. If you wanted to play it out different than what the rules state, the rules just say within 30 feet. Um, I guess maybe you could sense the movement in the air. That's how it was happening. I guess in my mind it's a tremor sense. It's not tremor sense though. It's blind sense. It's a he can sense anything within 30 feet of him moving toward him, and so there's these creatures called piercers, and he uh, he won't let him roll to try and dodge the attack. He rolls the attack, says it hits, and then tells him that he could uncanny dodge it, which lets him take half damage. And then says that he took 24 points of damage, halved to 12. And the dude is like, but it's within my sight range. I would have seen it getting ready to attack. And I have the alert feature, so I would have seen it. It can't surprise me. Well, this is different because it's dropping from the ceiling. And he has done this before. It's different because it's dropping from the ceiling. It's not like it's coming at you. It's coming from above you, and it's falling. So it's different than if it's running at you because it's not coming horizontally. It's coming vertically. Apparently, makes a difference. And yeah, and so this is not the first time this exact thing has happened. It happened to my character on a previous campaign, where, well, I did not get as much metal as I was expecting. However, I can make enough steel. It won't be ready this time, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Let me unload, I guess, and we'll head out to do some real searching, I guess, because that's going to take a long time. But yeah, it can be very frustrating. I actually was watching a thing tonight about D&D rules and how different people play. And the guy I was watching was talking about how you basically are supposed to play the game and then decide afterwards how the rules should be applied, and just ignore how they're being applied while you're playing if you disagree with them. And I do understand that there are some tables that play that way, where the rule of the moment is the rule of the moment, and then you can discuss the rule after the game is over so the game does not slow down. However, we like to argue our rules then and there. Because the rules are usually something that's got a good chance of coming up while we're playing again. It's not like a momentarily vague something, that's got a 1 in a million game chance of happening, and so then you can discuss it afterwards to see how the rule maybe should be applied next time. No, this is something that's central to the character's abilities, and like like he does this thing, right? My guy carries a flaming sword. It is on fire. It gives off bright light for 40 feet while it's on fire, and I only fight with it on fire. I guess we could go down one of these side paths here and check out where this leads. I usually tend to stick to the main road and just loot towns. And so, you know, being able to see the creatures coming and not being surprised as two of your now ingrained abilities, I can't turn quests in, so there's no point in doing that quest. That was one of my quests I've picked up, but there's 0 point in doing it because I simply cannot turn it in because I have no store. So, yeah, it to me, some things have to be ruled on in the moment. You have to know how it's going to play out the next time this happens. You can't have an ability that doesn't let you be surprised and have the DM constantly trying to surprise you. It doesn't work. We went after the ability to sense invisible things because he's always making things invisible. Well, now he can't. Now he's still making them invisible, but they only work on 2 of the characters, and not the other 2. And so, oh man, I put some levels in lately. Apparently, okay. I like that I came here to explore this place, and there's nothing. Some oil shale. I can make some more gasoline, I guess. Does that door go anywhere? It does look like there's another room. I guess this is the path inside deeper. What the heck was I hitting? Ooh, this is a yellow-eyed zombie. That is a headless zombie. Oh, it was a display case. I couldn't see it, and the glass just started exploding everywhere. Ooh, and there's a tunnel. What's down your tunnel? Ooh, it sounds terrible. Hey, guy. I'm on the ladder, not you. Okay? My ladder, not your ladder. My ladder. I guess we're not on the ladder anymore. My secret stash now. See if there's anything back there. But yeah, it's I don't know. We just really like to argue the rules, honestly. I like to establish what we're doing so that I know how to plan. Because it's not like we're playing a game of Monopoly, right? And so, you know, you're playing Monopoly, you land on free parking, and you go, oh, well, we're not doing free parking in this game. Fine, you know, whatever. But if we're playing Monopoly and then we had been putting down money for free parking, and one person got it, and then the next person lands on free parking, and you go, oh, well, we're not doing free parking money in this game anymore. that's different. And that's kind of what it's like with D&D rules if you don't establish what the rule is. And so, I can understand not wanting to disrupt the game if someone is constantly arguing rules. I get that. But sometimes, I mean, we don't argue rules constantly, but when a rule does come up, a ruling, I guess, comes up, like what happened tonight, you know, sometimes you have to hash out right there, because how are you going to know what to do the next time you run into a similar situation if the rules keep changing? And that is often what we run into, is the rules keep changing. Here's another example of the DM that we play with changing the rules mid-game. At one point, we did advantage on rolls for flanking. So flanking is when you get one person on one side of a creature and another person on the opposite side of the creature. It has to be on the opposite side. And so, for whatever reason, it didn't get used that much. I mean, it doesn't happen that often. To be able to get yourself on both sides of a creature isn't possible that often, because there's multiple creatures, and passing around a creature if you get too far away causes you to take an extra attack. So usually it's something I try to avoid. It's just not something that we do that often. And so we have been doing advantage on flanking. Well, then one day the DM is just like, I just feel like you guys are getting, like, one time we had advantage one time in a game because of flanking, and it rolled well because of the advantage. And the DM is like, I feel like you guys are getting too much benefit from flanking. So now, on top of this, flanking is an optional rule, and the reason that we have flanking is because it's way easier for bad guys to surround you than it is for you to surround the bad guys, because there's 4 of us and we're usually fighting like 12 or 15 bad guys, right? Because you don't often run into bad guys who are as powerful as you. Instead, you run into lots of guys who are less powerful than you, but there's lots of them. Because the rule in D&D, at least in 5th edition, is the action economy, and it's how many things you get to do in a turn. And so even if something is weaker than you, as long as they get to take lots of turns, they can whittle you down pretty quickly. Like happened 2 sessions ago in the game that I run, when the guy died to flying swords. Flying swords are much weaker than the players, but there were so many of them taking so many turns that he lost his hit points and then rolled badly and died. And so that's the action economy. That's how an action economy goes less favorably for the players, right? So when you're fighting little guys, it's harder. Well, when you're fighting bad guys in general, it's harder to get around all the little guys who are on the map. It's easier to get around one big guy, but one big guy usually has more hit points. And advantage just means that you get to roll the dice twice and take the higher of the two. It works out mathematically, I believe, to be like an extra 2.5 points to the dice roll or something like that on average. It's not very much at all. And but it can seem bigger if you haven't used it all night, and then you get flanking advantage and one of your guys rolls a 1 and a 20. right? And then the DM is like, oh, they should have had a 1, but it was with advantage because of flanking, so now they get a 20, and now my guy is dead, because I was trying to kill them, not because I was trying to play the game, like our DM. And so, uh, mid game, he changed the rules um, from the way the flanking worked to +2, which is almost the same thing as the advantage, but not quite. And I wasn't really trying to do the flanking that much, anyways. And so I have basically stopped even attempting to get it because I find it annoying. I'm like, just get rid of it. I'm like, if you don't like it, just get rid of it. But he wants it. He wants it for his bad guys. He just doesn't want it for us. And so, uh, yeah, that's a rule that changed mid game. You don't do that. You don't change the rules mid game unless it's pointed out that you're doing the rules wrong. Then you might change. You'd be like, oh, I misunderstood how that rule worked. No problem, we'll change it. It's not a big deal to change it if we're doing it wrong. But to change a rule that's working as intended. And so, like, another thing that we were doing these hero points, I think we talked about this already. We were doing the hero points, and so I didn't like the way the numbers worked out at lower levels. Now, it might be too high at higher levels. I don't have a problem changing the number of hero points. But, and here's the thing, we're using hero points in the other game we're playing that I'm running. So in his game, he's like, oh, it hurts too much to have those hero points because every once in a while, like, so we're level 12. So we had 16 hero points. No, 18 hero points. When we were done getting to level 13, I still had 12 of my hero points left. That means over all of level 11 or all of level 12 to 13, I had only used 6 of my 18 points. I used 1/3 of my points because I don't use them that often. I don't want to. I don't want to be re-rolling constantly. Like sometimes we'll be like in something dangerous and I'll be injured and I'll have to roll a save against some spell and I'll be like, oh well, I'd better hero point this because I don't want my guy to go down in the middle of a fight necessarily. I guess those lights only come on at night. So in that instance, sure, I might throw up a hero point. But for the most part, I don't. I don't do the hero point thing. Well, we used the hero point, and I used the hero point, and it got me out of one of the bad guy's spells, and that was it. He was done with hero points. I think you guys got too many hero points. You got so many hero points left, and you're almost at the end of the level. I'm like, yeah, that means we weren't using them. That's it. That's all that meant. We weren't using them. And he's like, well, how many hero points are you going to get here when you hit level 13? I'm like, well, it'll be half of 13 is 6.5, but you round down, so it's 6 plus 13, so it'll be 19 points. Yeah, that's too many. You got too many. I think maybe we need to move it down to like 11. 11 total. That's all you're ever going to have for the rest of the game is 11. You go up a level, you get 11 hero points. Like, okay. And so then the next session was the session that I ran, and what's he do? I'd like to use some of my hero points. How many hero points do I got now? It's 1.5 times my level, right? Right? It's 1.5 times my level. That's how many hero points I got. So I'm going to use some of my hero points to try and and I'm just thinking, The last thing you did last session was to reduce the number of hero points we had, and the first thing you do this session is to make sure you've got 1.5 times your level in hero points, which you just said was too many points. I'm like, wow. Just wow. That's right. So when it's for you, it's a good thing, but when it's for us, ugh, no, we can't have that. But yeah, actually tonight wasn't too bad for my characters. He was busy picking on other people. Usually it's my characters. Um, but nothing we really faced was that bad, and he did go pretty hard against my bard at the beginning. Um, the one guy commented on, "Oh, it looks like he's trying to kill your guy now," because his guy died, so now he might want to kill my guy, and he made some snarky comments that the dude was like, "Yeah, he sounds really salty tonight," uh, and but I didn't think it went too bad for my character, but I do feel like he definitely screwed over the rogue with that one call, because there's no way that being able to blind sense 30 feet away and have the alert feature and have something jump on your head, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm pretty sure that he would have noticed that stuff going in, especially since we can see 60 feet in the dark, uh, and we'd rolled perceptions and stuff before entering the room. Um, you know, I think the one guy has a passive perception of 18. He said, and the other guy's got passive of 16. So I don't even think he rolled hiding for those guys. He just said that we couldn't see them because they were up at the ceiling. Um, because adventurers who are 11 floors into a dungeon that's had lots of things on the ceilings and constantly have 30-foot high ceilings isn't something we wouldn't be checking out as we went along, right? Anyways, with that, I am going to call it a day. So, be better than the small things, lean in the light. I will talk to you later.